Welcome back to Kentucky Sports Television. We are in the middle of a very exciting summer for the UK football program, and joining us now on the line to discuss it is former UK quarterback Jared Lorenzen. Jared, thank you for taking some time to talk with us.
Hey, anytime, man.
This has been a season, or I guess a summer, feels like a season already, of a lot of movement on the recruiting trail, a lot of things that have put hope in the fan base, I guess, and a lot of momentum. What stands out to you, though, as maybe the most impressive part of what Mark Stoops has done since he got to Kentucky?
You know, I think it's just the recruiting aspect of it. He hasn't shied away from anybody. He took the area that he was familiar with, which was down in Florida, and took really a prominent place up here in Ohio, and is battling all the big dogs. I mean, that for Kentucky to be in the mix with the Alabamas, the Ohio States, and LSU's to get these recruits, it's just a totally different mindset.
Is that the long-term recipe? I mean, we've seen for years people have said, you got to get the guys from Kentucky and then pick off Ohio or Florida. What's the recipe for long-term success at UK, and has Mark Stoops maybe hit on it?
Well, I think that's what he's into right now. I think you get all the really good Kentucky recruits, you keep them in state, and then that's exactly what you do. You pick out your offensive linemen and your big guys from Ohio State or from the state of Ohio, and then you get your skill and your position down in Florida, Georgia, Texas, wherever else we can kind of creep into. And right now I don't want to say anything because he's definitely got the momentum going.
How do you guard against like the veterans in the locker room, the guys that were recruited by Joker? Now these new players coming in under Stoops. How do you prevent, if you're a coach or if you're just a veteran player on that team, how do you prevent a division from Joker's guys, Stoops' guys, and kind of sell that, hey, we are all Kentucky guys, we're all in this together?
Well, luckily I had to deal with Mummy's guys, Morris's guys, and Brooks's guys. So, that's kind of the way you go into it. Is you just realize everybody's here. We're fighting for the name on the front of the jersey here. The heck with what everybody else says. I don't care who you're recruited by. Everybody wants what's best for the team, and they want to be able to go out there and they want to go to bowl games and they want to be part of the classes that turned Kentucky football back around. Those are the ones that are remembered forever. So I think they don't have any problem, and they'll all be rowing in the right direction when it comes time for that.
Well, they're going to have to count on offense, at least on some freshmen to some degree this year. What's the toughest adjustment for these freshmen as they get to college football, but then especially in the SEC?
The speed. The speed is absolutely unheard of. It's unmatched. You can't duplicate it until you get actually into a game. The speed in practice, it's a little bit faster than what you're used to in high school, and when you get to a game, everything just flies right by you. I'm happy we start out with the Western and then Miami because those games will be fast for those freshmen. But it's you compare it a lot to the NFL. It's you got the preseason speed, and then you got regular season speed, and then you got divisional speed. So the games just keep getting amped up faster and faster and faster. And, hopefully they'll, catch on a lot quicker.
In these summer months, what are the players doing? Like if you're a leader on this team, what are the things they're working on to prepare for the fall when it gets here?
Well, hopefully it's a lot of, for me it was always running and get my arm in shape. And I'm sure Maxwell, Patrick, and all the guys down there are putting up times, hey, we're throwing these days. You don't need coaches there to do 7-on-7. You don't need coaches there to throw the ball on routes or routes on air. You don't need that stuff. Right now it's learn, get in your playbook. It's a new playbook for them. So understand what they're going to be doing, understand the expectations that they have, and, every day compete for your job.
Now, when you were there, you shared time with Shane Boyd. You guys went back and forth. Is it harder for a team to get to maybe the chemistry between the wide receivers and quarterbacks in a new offense when there isn't one guy named? Is it tougher to adjust when you're trying to figure out who the starter is going to be?
Not if you work hard in the summer. Myself and Shane were doing everything we possibly could to get as many receivers out, and even if they were catching just the ends of routes, so they didn't have to run the whole time. We wanted to make sure they understood, the velocity that we threw at, because we threw the ball harder than most people, and I had the left-hand spin versus right-hand spin, and we just wanted to make sure that there was no excuses. So when we got to summer camp, these guys were ready for us, and we were ready for them.
Do you have a favorite in that quarterback battle, a guy you like more?
Well, I'm partial to Patrick. I coached him in high school, and I've known him for a long time. But, I want what's best, and I'm going to completely trust Neil with whatever he goes with. whatever gets us the most wins, really. I mean, I feel confident that any one of these guys can step in there and get us back to bowl games.
Another quarterback, of course, from that area is Drew Barker. Not going to be on campus for a while, doing a lot recruiting-wise. What do you make of him as a prospect and the things he does well, and how important has he been to the program?
He's very important. I'm happy that he got the commitment out of the way early, so now he can concentrate on himself. And really, you know what, enjoying your senior year. You know, a lot of these guys get caught up in the recruiting trail, and they're going here and going there. That, you know, Drew gets to sit back and concentrate on his local games that he plays, and you know, he'll get to Lexington, I'm sure, every weekend for the games, and now he gets to, you know, get on Twitter and get to the other recruits. He's just enjoying himself. I think it was a great decision for him to commit early and, you know, start working on other guys.
When you look at this team, it's still a 2-10 team, and there's so much excitement for what Stoops has done, and even in 2014, what could happen with that class. What, at the end of the year, if the momentum is going to continue or whatever, what would you say is a success for year one of Mark Stoops?
I mean,
not even maybe in wins and losses, but just something that you, at the end of the year, you say, you know what, we accomplished this. It's a success.
They don't get shut out, and the attendance is still there. Because if you look at last year's attendance, it really started to die out. People weren't excited. Even when I played, we weren't that good. I'd love to say we were great, but we weren't that good. But we kept it exciting, and it was fun, and we were in a lot of games, and that's where we need to be. We need to bring the excitement back, get the sirens going again. And, you know, I don't expect us to win 7, 8, 9, 10 games this year. I think we have the hardest schedule in the country. You know, we got to play Bama and Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, all those. Just keep it exciting. Beat Louisville, beat Tennessee, and beat Western. Those are my three. Anything else is just, you know, icing on the cake for me.
I think everybody would take that for sure. Jared Lorenzen, thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure when we get to talk to you.